It's a feeling you know all too well, that initial spark of something real. You meet her, and the conversation doesn't feel like work, it flows. There's a mutual vibe, a sense that you're both on the same wavelength. She's not just smiling politely, she's genuinely laughing at your jokes. Leaning in and matching your energy with her own, you find yourself thinking, this is it. Finally, someone who gets it, who gets me. In those moments, it's effortless. The texts are frequent and engaging. The plans are made with excitement. Everything points towards a potential that feels undeniable. You allow yourself to be optimistic, to imagine that this time, it might just be different then. Without any warning, the atmosphere shifts. It's not a dramatic blow-up or a clear rejection. It's something far more confusing and insidious. It's the slow fade. The change is subtle, but deafening. The lengthy, enthusiastic texts that once popped up on your phone are replaced by short, polite replies. The ha-ha becomes a ha. The exclamation points vanish. The energy that once felt so electric now feels distant, reserved, almost muted. The enthusiasm that was so palpable seems to have evaporated. She's suddenly busy in a way she never was before. And the plans that were once a sure thing now hang in the air with a frustrating uncertainty. You're left standing there, phone in hand, replaying every single interaction, every text, every moment you spent together, searching for the clue, the misstep, the thing you said that broke the spell. Was it that joke that maybe landed wrong? Did you text a little too much? Or not enough? The mental gymnastics are exhausting, torturous cycle of self-audit that leads nowhere but to a sinking feeling in the pit of your stomach. It's a unique form of brutality, the silence where there was once noise, the coldness where there was once warmth. This isn't just about a missed connection. It's the whiplash of potential unfulfilled, the confusion of a door being gently closed without explanation. And the hardest part is the feeling that you're alone in this. That everyone else has it figured out while you're left deciphering a code you never learned. But the truth is, this landscape is familiar to almost every man. It's not a reflection of your worth, but it is a critical test of your character. The question isn't why it's happening, not yet, but what you choose to do in the face of that silence. Your next move is everything. When a woman you're connecting with suddenly becomes distant, the immediate visceral reaction is to internalize it. You assume the cause must be something you did, something you said, or something you failed to be. This instinct to shoulder the blame is natural, but it's often a misdiagnosis that leads to catastrophic reactions. The first step toward handling the situation correctly is to understand that her pulling back is a signal, not a verdict, and its origins can be complex and varied. Leaping to the conclusion that it's a personal rejection is not only premature, but also ignores the intricate dynamics at play, one of the most common yet. Misunderstood reasons for this shift is that it functions as a test. It's crucial to frame this not as a malicious game or a calculated manipulation, but rather as a subconscious, instinctual probe for your stability. Think of it like this. Anyone can be charming, confident, and engaging when things are easy and the vibe is perfect. But true character is revealed when there's tension or uncertainty. By creating space, she is, in a way, creating a low-pressure scenario to see what you're made of. Will you become anxious and needy, scrambling to reclaim her attention? Or will you remain secure, grounded, and unfazed, demonstrating that your confidence is internal and not dependent on her constant validation? You become the calm passenger on a bumpy flight. Your steadiness, not your panic, makes her feel safe. Failing this test by chasing is the fastest way to confirm the very doubts that likely caused her to pull back in the first place, however. It is a profound mistake to assume every shift in her behavior is a test directed at you. Women like you are whole individuals with complex lives entirely separate from the new romance. Her world does not revolve around you yet. The distance could be a symptom of stress from a demanding job, family issues she's privately grappling with, or personal struggles with anxiety or self-doubt. She might be overwhelmed and simply retreating to cope, a behavior that has nothing to do with you. To make it all about you is not only arrogant, but also demonstrates a lack of empathy and worldliness. It shows you see her not as a full human being with her own burdens, but merely as a character in your story whose only role is to provide you with attention and validation. Furthermore, she might be navigating her own internal conflict about what she wants. The early stages of dating are a whirlwind of emotion and excitement, but that initial rush inevitably settles. As it does, she might be consciously or unconsciously evaluating the connection, weighing compatibility or assessing her own readiness for something serious. This necessary introspection requires mental space, and your constant presence physically or digitally can disrupt that process. Your pressure, however well-intentioned, becomes a nuisance, not a comfort. In this scenario, your need for clarity and reassurance directly conflicts with her need for clarity and space. The man who adds to her pressure by demanding answers will be seen as another problem to manage. The man who gives her the room to breathe and miss him becomes the safe harbor she'll want to return to. The common thread weaving through all these scenarios is that your reaction is the only part of this equation you can control, and it is the ultimate determinant of the outcome. When she pulls away, a primal alarm bell rings in your head. It triggers a deep-seated fear of rejection and loss, and in this panicked state, otherwise rational men are driven to commit a series of catastrophic errors. These mistakes are almost instinctual. They feel like the right thing to do, the proactive steps to fix a problem. In reality, they are the guaranteed way to extinguish any remaining attraction and seal your fate. Understanding these traps is not just advice. It is a vaccination against self-sabotage. The most immediate and common reflex is to chase harder. This manifests as a flood of text messages, from playful memes to concerned "Hey, is everything okay?" queries. It's the attempt to schedule a talk to clear the air, or the grand romantic gesture designed to win her back. This impulse stems from a place of lack, from the terrifying thought that if you don't act, you will lose her forever. But here's the brutal truth. Pursuit reads as desperation. It communicates that you have nothing more important going on in your life than securing her attention. You become like a salesman who won't leave the doorstep, desperately trying to close a deal with a client who is already hesitating. Your chasing removes all mystery, confirms your lower position in the dynamic, suffocates the very space she might be seeking. It's the emotional equivalent of trying to catch a butterfly by sprinting after it with a net. You will only scare it away for good. Simultaneously, the mind becomes its own worst enemy, launching into a destructive cycle of overanalysis. You find yourself scrolling through old text chains, dissecting the timing of her replies, the tone of her last message, and the exact moment the energy shifted. You replay conversations from your last date, searching for a hidden meaning in an offhand comment or a fleeting expression. This isn't detective work. It's a form of self-torture that breeds anxiety, paranoia, and a corrosive sense of self-doubt. This internal spiral is not contained within your own head. It leaks out into your energy, your posture, and your interactions. You become insecure, needy, and volatile. A woman can sense this energy from a mile away. It is the antithesis of the strong, grounded, and confident masculinity that attracts her. Your overthinking doesn't solve the puzzle. It makes you a less appealing prize. The final and most profound mistake is the complete loss of self. In a desperate attempt to become what you think she wants, you abandon the very man she was initially attracted to. You cancel plans with your friends to keep your schedule open for her. You skip your gym sessions because you're too busy waiting for your phone to light up. You put your hobbies and projects on hold, pouring all your time and emotional capital into fixing the situation. This is the ultimate betrayal of your own core. The man she liked was a whole person with a rich, independent life, passions, and a strong social circle. By disassembling that man, you are showing her that it was all a facade, that your value was contingent on her validation. You are literally demonstrating that, without her, you are nothing. No friends, no mission, no hobbies. This is the most unattractive quality imaginable. You are handing her the reins to your entire emotional world and asking her to drive. A responsibility that is exhausting, not flattering. You cease to be the captain of your own ship, and instead become a stowaway on hers, hoping she'll let you stay. This loss of self is the point of no return, because you are asking her to be attracted to a ghost of the man she first met. Knowing what not to do is only half the battle. The real power lies in executing a deliberate, counterintuitive strategy that aligns with the principles of confidence and self-value. This isn't about playing games or employing tricks. It's about fundamentally shifting your mindset and actions to demonstrate, beyond any doubt, that you are a man of substance whose world does not crumble with uncertainty. Your response must be a silent, powerful testament to your own worth. The immediate and most critical step is to master an action. When you sense the pullback, your first and most powerful move is to do absolutely nothing. This means no checking in texts, no probing questions, and no attempts to clear the air. This is not passive aggression. It is strategic silence. It is the emotional equivalent of holding your frame in a moment of pressure. By not reacting, you accomplish several things at once. You avoid the neediness of chasing. You create space for her to potentially feel your absence and initiate contact herself. And most importantly, you signal that you are not easily shaken. This silence is deafening in its confidence. It communicates that while you enjoy her company, your emotional state is not a slave to her attention. You are the rock in the river, not the leaf tossed by the current. This calm stillness is far more powerful than any number of anxious words. With the energy you would have wasted on chasing and overthinking, you must now execute the most crucial part of the strategy, a ruthless and genuine refocusing on yourself. This is not a performance meant for her to see. It is a personal reinvestment in your own mission. This means hitting the gym with more intensity, not to get ripped for her, but for the mental clarity and intrinsic self-respect it brings. It means diving headfirst into your work, your projects, and your hobbies. Reconnect with your friends. Fill your calendar with things that excite you and expand your own life. This process serves two vital purposes. First, it rebuilds and fortifies your own confidence from within, making you genuinely less dependent on her validation. Second, and just as importantly, it makes you more attractive. You are actively becoming a more capable, interesting, and well-rounded version of yourself, the kind of man who is naturally appealing. You are demonstrating through action that your purpose is non-negotiable. Finally, you must adopt and internalize an abundance mindset. This is the philosophical bedrock of the entire operation. It is the unwavering belief that you are the prize and that there are countless amazing women in the world. This doesn't mean you immediately start dating others out of spite, though you absolutely should not close yourself off to the possibility. It means you mentally decouple your happiness from this single outcome. Talk to other people. Be social. Remind yourself through experience that your ability to connect and attract is not limited to one person. This mindset kills neediness at its root. When you operate from a place of abundance, you communicate that while you are interested in her, you have options and a full life. You are not waiting by the phone. You are living your life, and she is welcome to join you in it. This frame is irresistibly attractive because it is grounded in truth, not bravado. You are not her backup plan, and by giving her space, you force her to subconsciously confront whether she is willing to risk becoming yours. This strategic shift from reactive chasing to proactive self-investment completely changes the dynamic. Putting you back in the driver's seat of your own life, this approach works not because it is a clever manipulation, but because it operates in harmony with the fundamental principles of psychology and attraction. It changes the entire energy of the interaction, shifting you from a position of weakness and reaction to one of strength and quiet command. The goal is not to punish her or play mind games, but to authentically demonstrate your highest value, making the outcome beneficial for you regardless of her actions. At the heart of this strategy is the concept of frame control, the ability to maintain your own reality, your own mood, and your own standards, regardless of external events. When she pulls back and you remain calm and focused on your own purpose, you are holding the frame. You are establishing that your world is a stable, compelling, and positive place to be, and that her behavior does not dictate your emotional weather. Think of the captain of a ship in a storm. The passengers may be fearful, but the captain's calm. Focused demeanor assures them that the vessel is sound and the course is true. He is in control. By mastering your frame, you become that captain. You show her, without saying a word, that you are emotionally resilient and that a relationship with you is a safe harbor, not a source of additional drama. This unwavering steadiness is profoundly attractive because it is rare. It communicates confidence on a primal level, assuring her that you are capable of leading and handling uncertainty without fracturing. This creates a powerful psychological effect, the scarcity principle. When you stop chasing, you effectively become less available. Humans are wired to desire what is perceived as scarce or requires effort to attain. By redirecting your attention to your own life, you cease to be a guaranteed source of validation for her. This absence creates a vacuum. She is forced to wonder why you're not reacting as she expected. Is he not interested anymore? Did he meet someone else? Is he just that secure? This curiosity sparks a revaluation. You are no longer the anxious guy vying for her attention. You become the intriguing, busy man whose attention she now has to earn. This isn't about being aloof. It's about being genuinely occupied with a life that excites you. It shifts the dynamic from you seeking her approval to her wondering if she still has yours ultimately. The most powerful aspect of this entire strategy is that it is outcome independent. You win no matter what. There are only two possible conclusions, and both are victories for the man you are becoming. The first is that your demonstration of strength, self-respect, and abundance reignites her attraction. The space you gave her allows her to miss you and see your value clearly. It's often leading her to reinitiate contact with renewed interest and respect. You get the girl, but on a much stronger footing. It's built on genuine attraction rather than neediness. The second, and equally important outcome, is that she does not come back. This is not a failure. It is a data point. It means that whatever her reasons were for pulling away, they were fundamental, and your dignified response simply revealed an incompatibility that was always there. But in the process, you have already won. You invested in yourself. You became stronger, more focused, and more confident. You did not waste weeks in anxiety and despair. You leveled up. You are now a more capable and attractive man. It's perfectly positioned to meet someone who is truly aligned with you and who will not hesitate to match your energy. This is the ultimate power, realizing that your value is not determined by her choice, but by your own actions. You are no longer waiting for someone to choose you. You are choosing the man you want to be and letting the right people choose to join you on that journey.